911, what's your emergency?
He was in a 72-hour mental health sign-in.
Ma'am, is anyone there?
You don't seem very happy that I got a job today.
Ma'am, have you been hurt?
Yes, I had my husband stabbed me.
I don't remember anything after that.
Where did he stab you, ma'am?
The next thing I knew, the following day I was waking up at Mount Carmel West Hospital in the ICU. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am a survivor of an attempted murder and a completed suicide. My first husband had a psychotic break in January of 2011 to the point where I was driving him to the hospital, but in turn went to a firehouse for a medic to transport him to the hospital, and was in one of the hospitals in Franklin County for 72 hours working through that psychotic break. When I was picking him up, he was scheduled to meet with a psychologist and was meeting with a psychologist twice a week. A month later, in February of 2011, the psychologist felt she had come to a decision of what diagnosis we were looking at, and she thought it was
bipolar disorder. The word bipolar means two extremes.
He had been a deputy sheriff for 10 years, had resigned, and had just completed nursing school.
So bipolar disorder it's a mental illness that's classified by extreme highs and extreme lows.
Having worked in the jail in Franklin County, we have seen the extreme of bipolar disorder.
Type 1 has extreme highs alongside the lows, while Type 2 involves briefer, less extreme periods of elation, interspersed with long periods of depression.
We have seen the extreme of unmedicated bipolar disorder.
It changes your activity levels, it changes your sleep patterns, it changes the way that you think, and subsequently changes your behavior.
And so having seen that, we weren't familiar with people who are able to go through their everyday life living with bipolar disorder and being medicated. So we didn't accept the diagnosis. He was taking medication for depression, so he wasn't taking the right medication for his diagnosis. March 15th of 2011, he had called me that morning at work, all excited because he had just gotten a job at the then Mount Carmel West Hospital working on the orthopedic floor. And we both were excited because for 3 years I had been working overtime and special duty and any and everything I could to be able to pay for his schooling, pay our bills, and everything it took to run a household and a family of 4, because we had 2 daughters that were 6 and 3. When I got home from work that day, he was on the phone talking with friends and excited, and whether it was nursing colleagues or family friends or whoever it was, I just went about my business, my routine, at the end of the workday. And that evening I went to a Mothers of Preschoolers or MOPS meeting at my church. And when I came home, I had ice cream and sprinkles for our daughters. I had blizzards for us, kind of a little celebration. And he was in a mood, for lack of a better term. So I'm like, okay. So he went and he goes, I'm gonna go take my shower. I'm like, all right. So the girls and I had our ice cream. I tucked them in. And I was going to take my shower. I was like, is everything okay? He's like, you don't seem very happy that I got a job today. I'm like, I'm ecstatic. What do you mean? He's like, well, you just, I wish you would have offered not to go to the MOPS meeting tonight. I would have told you not to go, but I wish you would have offered, you just don't seem happy that I got the job. I was like, I've been busting my butt for 3 years. I'm thrilled that you have your job. I don't remember anything after that. That's the only part of the conversation I remember. That was probably around 10:30 at night. The next thing I knew, the following day I was waking up at Mount Carmel West Hospital in the ICU. Based on what I was told of the scene, it probably started with him hitting me. This whole side of my face was completely swollen. The white of my eye was completely red. I had, stitches above and below my left eye, in front of and behind my left ear. The hit would have thrown me back into our shower doors because I was told our shower doors were knocked off the track. That's the only part I truly, know happened. Somewhere in there, he got a knife. He ended up slitting my throat with the knife. It lacerated my larynx and my thyroid. My daughters had slept through most of this. They were 6 and 3. My oldest daughter said that she had heard him walk down our hallway and yell, "What have I done?" She heard him on the phone with 911.
Hello?
This is 911.
Yeah.
All right, I got a hang-up call from your phone.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did. Then how did I call you back?
Say, "I stabbed my wife. If you don't get here, she's going to die."
I stabbed my wife. She's going to die if you don't come.
After that phone call, he had called a friend of ours who lived around the corner, who was also a deputy, who I had called the night of his psychotic break to help me get him into the car and everything. And he called and said, "Hey, can you come over here and get the girls?" And so our friend just thought, oh, he must have to go to the hospital. After he did that, he had walked out onto our deck. While he was out there, I had managed to crawl to my nightstand, get our house phone, and was sitting at the foot of our bed, and I called 911.
Ma'am, have you been hurt?
Yes, I had my husband stab me.
Where did he stab you?
I don't know. My throat.
While I was on the phone with 911, he had gone out onto the deck and he had shot himself in the chest.
You still with me?
Oh, my God.
Is he coming back?
He just shot himself.
Because of his psychotic break 2 months prior to that, we had a gun box that, we kept my gun and then what had been his duty gun in. And I had changed the code on it so he couldn't get access to a weapon. He was a hunter and all of his hunting guns we had taken to his parents. The bypass key for the gun box was on my duty belt. So I knew when I was gone at work, which was the only reason why I would not be at home, that he had no access to a weapon. It was after that, not long after that, that our friend had gotten there. He walked in our door. He said he saw my duty belt just a few steps in our door, and then he came to our bedroom where I was.
What happened? Did you call somebody?
I got 911.
Holy shit.
Who is that?
My name.
Yes, this is a neighbor. I'm here. I got Laura. She's bloody.
Okay, yeah. Is she cut in the throat?
I can't tell.
All right, so if you could just stay with her, I do have emergency help en route, okay?
Okay, I'm right here.
All right.
The medics showed up. They were able to repair my larynx and thyroid. I had a trach. When I woke up in the hospital, wasn't sure where I was, kept asking questions, had to write everything. They originally thought I was going to be in the ICU 4 days, in the hospital 12. I was out of the ICU in 36 hours. No long-term health issues as a result of any of that, which, that of itself was amazing. When he cut my throat, I didn't get my carotid, so I didn't bleed out. Our girls were not injured at all, fortunately. My oldest daughter ended up telling me a little bit extra afterwards, and she talked about how there was a really nice female city police officer. I was very grateful that, they had somebody with the girls and keeping them calm and not really telling them what was happening outside. A month afterwards, I was doing another deep clean of our bathroom, and when I was cleaning the lid of our toilet, I noticed I had several gouges in it from the knife. What made me realize is one of the techniques we teach in RAD is being able to block strikes or hits that also could be used with a weapon. And so I know that's what I was doing, and that's how those gouges got into the top of our toilet lid. I'm fortunate that the actual assault I don't remember, which helps me to be able to share my story. I share my story every time I teach a RAD class. There are so many women that come to us who have survived domestic violence, are currently in a domestic violence situation, or they are a survivor of some sort of sexual assault. I always say survivor. I don't like the word victim, because to me, victim means that incident has the control over you, and I'm a very stubborn person, in some ways, so I don't want to let that incident define me. It was something that happened to me, and I try to use that to help other women understand that, you know, what is love, what isn't love, what is a healthy relationship, and if they find themselves in that situation, how to defend their way out of it. I'm Deputy Stahr with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
I started my career down at Franklin County Municipal Court, supervising adults on probation. I was there 5 years, and I've been here at New Albany for 22 years.
I've been with the Albany Police Department for about 4.5 years now. I went to the Columbus Police Academy and then did our FTO program, and then I've been on second shift now since then working patrol.
I've always been about women empowering themselves, not having to rely on anyone or anything else, but being able to rely on themselves and be comfortable and confident. I wanted to be able to share that with any and every woman that I could to help them become stronger and more confident.
RAD classes is our female self-defense class. So our goal within the class is to talk about situational awareness when you're out and then at your house, kind of safety tips as well. And then we also do physical things where we teach you defenses against if you're grabbed, how to just throw a punch, and different various things to help protect yourself.
As women, we're probably never going to outmuscle a man, but our techniques are to just get you to escape a situation and get you to safety. I've taken self-defense throughout my whole career. RAD, I was given the opportunity to get certified here with Officer Leland Kelly, and I think we've been partners for probably 10 years now. I've just always done it because of my profession. I have a daughter, and I've always been a proponent for her to be engaged in classes. And Officer Kelly was looking for a female partner, and I stepped up.
I first became involved with RAD because I wanted to. I thought that RAD is a great program. So I had approached Officer Kelly and Miss Boyd to do RAD, and they were happy to have another person added on. So I went to the week-long training that you have to go to be an instructor. Went to that, and then I've been helping them ever since. For about 2 years now I've been doing it. My favorite part is seeing the change from the very first class that we have to the last class where we have our kind of like fight night, where we kind of put everything in together, and just seeing the confidence boost that they have from the first night they come in. They're kind of a little bit intimidated, and some of them have never been in a fight or ever had to throw a punch before, to where the last night they're going all out and fighting Officer Kelly in the big suit, and they're not scared of him or backing down, and they're really fighting for themselves, and just a confidence boost that they get.
And they're like, oh, this stuff really does work, and they feel empowered. That is a really great feeling. We see a wide range of participants. We like to say maybe 13 and older. If a mom or dad feels like their daughter is mature enough at 11 or 12, that's okay, but we say 13 and older. And we've seen from 13 to 83 years old. All backgrounds, all fitness levels, because again, it's very, very simple movements that we're teaching, so any physical background. I think people come in here thinking that we are going to teach them karate and it's going to be super hard, and so when it's these very simple movements, and again, we're just wanting to escape the situation. Our first night is all about situational awareness, so hopefully we're teaching you how to even take that opportunity out for you not to become in a situation. So when they do come in here, it's like, it's not like karate, it's not going to be anything difficult.
You just have to know the techniques and kind of know what to do. We always talk about the element of surprise in our class, and that's kind of the big thing of, at least if you can practice things, you can fight somebody off. And even in our courses, we'll have some of the smallest females we've had. They're maybe 120 pounds, and they're still able to throw Officer Kelly off of them. And like I said, you don't have to be strong and powerful to know how to defend yourself, or you don't even also have to have a weapon. You can just use your hands and your weight and things like that.
We teach them things that they had never thought about before. We get, just happy that it's a very comfortable environment that we provide. There's no judgment, we're super patient, so we get a lot of positive feedback. I think it's important for women to be able to take care of themselves and not rely on somebody else. I think it's important that we're teaching our young girls situational awareness and just being aware of surroundings.
Being off of your phone and being present in what's kind of going on. So, you know, you're walking down the street, if you're on your phone, if you're looking down, you're maybe not seeing somebody walking right next to you, they might spook you because you don't know what's going on. Or even simply as just crossing the street, if you're not paying attention, you're not being aware of your surroundings, you could not see the car that's not stopping at the stop sign. And again, it's just being present in your everyday life and knowing what's going on around you, and you're not buried in your phone or distracted by something else. Always having your keys in your hand. When you're going to a grocery store, like, this is a habit that I am always in, and I've built the habit, which I think is really good. Probably my favorite thing that I do is if I'm in a store, right after I pay, I go put my card up or anything, keys are right in my hand. So when I'm going out to my car, I'm not distracted by carrying all the bags or things like that. My keys are in my hand, I know exactly where they are, and I'm not trying to dig through my purse trying to find them when I'm going out there, or maybe I misplaced them or things like that, but I'm ready when I go out to my car to put things up.
If someone is out there wanting to do harm, they're going to look for an easy target. If you have your phone out of your face and you're looking confident and you're looking people in the eye, they don't want a confident person. They want an easy target.
I think it's important for every female to have some sort of self-defense awareness or training.
Have the confidence to know that you can fight somebody. You know, you might not be the strongest person. I'm not the strongest person here, but I will fight somebody, and I know that I can do it with what I'm trained, so.
I've taught the RAD program, like I said, since 2008, and I went into it wanting to help the women in our community, not realizing how much the skills that I learned in RAD would literally save my own life.